Good morning. I'm adjusting the thermostat in my house here right now so that it doesn't make a bunch of noise while we're online. Yeah, I'm coming from Arizona and it is very hot here. I think we're supposed to hit 104 today in Arizona. So I'm like, okay, that's pretty warm. So I had my air running here a lot in the background just so that I could get cooled down before we got going. Welcome to the online Facebook lesson this morning. I was thinking this morning, I need to rename this. I can't call it the Facebook show anymore because I'm going to start streaming onto YouTube as well and also onto Instagram. So I was like, what am I going to call this? I can't call it the Facebook Live show, can I? I don't know. Tell me what you think. Give me some ideas. And by the way, if you are here online, then let me see who you are. I want to see who's joining. I love you guys coming in on my Facebook Live. I've been saying that for how many weeks? I'll have to retrain myself when we rename this. But I want to see who's here, and we're going to have a good lesson today. If you don't know who I am, if this is your first time here, I'm Linda Glover Gooch. I'm an artist, painter. I live in Arizona. I am a content creator. I am the creator of the online courses that sit at masterfulpainting.com. So I want to welcome everybody here. Good morning, Graham. I'm glad to see you. I haven't seen you for a while, so I'm glad to see you popping in today. I was wondering about you. Good morning, B, and good morning, Dobson Studios. Sandra Dobson, welcome. So what we have going on today is we're going to talk about mixing colors. I always have to drink a lot whenever I'm doing all this talking. I have come to really love doing these Facebook Lives. I'm going to be honest with you. I held back for a while doing these. I was like, do I want to do that? And now that I've been doing them the length of time, I really look forward to them. And I love the time of you guys coming in here with me. It's not talked about very often, but artist life can be a little lonely. It can be kind of a journey of a lot of quiet time by yourself. Now, I have done a lot of plein air events over the years and I've painted out with people, but I'm going to be honest with you, I'm a little bit of a loner. Even in a plein air event, I will have a tendency to kind of go off. I like the focus of being alone and painting, and so I am a little bit like dealing with that now. I'm thinking I have to push myself to get out there. I have a really good painter friend here, not too far from me, and she's been pushing me lately to get out and just get out of work and go hang out and do some things. I'm a worker. I work a lot, which I'm trying to balance all that. But being in the studio for a lot of artists can be a lonely time. Welcome everybody coming in. I'm glad to see all you guys. I can't mention everybody, but I see a lot of regulars that are coming in. Hi, Mary. See you again. Sanita, and just so glad to see you guys. But as I was saying, it's a little bit of a lonely journey. So, this is like, I really do enjoy you guys coming. I really feel like you're joining me in the studio, and I really appreciate it. Having people live does kind of like bring my energy up a little bit, instead of me just like talking to my computer. I really know you guys are there. So, cheers. I'm using my Cowgirl Up coffee cup, although I have iced tea, because I was saying Arizona, we're going to hit 104 today. But my coffee cup from Desert Caballero Western Museum, the Cowgirl Up show is still on. If you come to Arizona or you live in Arizona, go to Wickenburg and visit the Desert Caballero Western Museum. That show will be hanging all summer long. So go up there and just check it out. It's a good show, lots and lots of art, and it's a beautiful museum, which, they are building a new museum. I don't know how many years out it'll be, but they've already like purchased the property across the street, and it's going to be a gorgeous museum. So that's super exciting. So hit it, Desert Caballero Western Museum in Wickenburg and see the Cowgirl Up show. Plus, they have some other really interesting things throughout the museum. So it's a cool museum. All right. Facebook Live. Let's get moving because I pretty much try to stay at 30 minutes here so I don't keep you guys too long. And I have other things to do as well, right? So here we go. How did you mix that color? That is probably one of the most asked questions I get when I teach webinars. I teach workshops and webinars. That is one of the most mixed, the most mixed. Well, that's true too. The most asked question about that color. But before we get to the lesson, hello from Arizona. I always bring you guys a photo. And so I've been thinking about the Grand Canyon a lot lately, and this is one of my favorite points. That is Moran Point out there, and these boulders and rocks are gigantic. It's an awesome view. Moran Point, obviously the name Moran, Thomas Moran, made that place known in the beginning. So I've painted there for years and years. I took plein air classes to this very exact point and spot for 5 years in a row. And I want to show you how big those rocks are. Look at the people next to those big boulders. Now, those boulders right there through that little narrow way going between the two big rocks. See those big boulders there where the light is hitting them? That's those boulders. So now you see people standing by them. And yeah, I never ever hike down where they are. But yeah, so that's their thing. So this is one of my most favorite views, and I did put my painting on here that I did from that scene. And let me see if I can hit the right slide. There you go. So this was the painting that I did from that slide, which in this painting has all the colors that I'm taking you through on this mixing video. These are the colors that I use for earth tones. I would use these same tones that you see in this painting that you're going to watch me talk about in a video. I use at the Grand Canyon here. I use them at the beach in sand. I use them in the Rocky Mountains. I've used them up in Glacier, the colors that I'm going to show you. So those are the very color that we're going to talk about. So I do have a video to run and then some more slides. I welcome questions, you guys. I love it if you send questions my way. Also, I do want to say, if you're watching the replay, thank you for tuning in later. I know some people don't always make it live, but I love my replay people just as much as I love you guys on live with me right now. So thank you for that. Put questions in. I monitor my Facebook Lives even after the fact. If you think of a question, throw it in there. I try to monitor them. So I'm going to take you through mixing some colors, and I'm going to show you where I make my own sap green. So we're talking complements here. So what I want you to do when you watch this video is think in your head beyond just what mixtures I use. But when we talk about complements, I'm using a green and a red in this video that takes you all through these beautiful tones. Now, I've time-lapsed some of it to speed it up, but there is access to this video, and I will give a link to that in the comments at the end of the live. But I've time-lapsed it to speed up this video. But these mixtures all derive from my main mixture of a sap green and a cad red light. So just let me roll the video and we'll watch it, and then we will talk some more and questions in the chat box. All right, here we go. So this mixture that I call a sandy color, or maybe rock color, different mixtures, I typically will use it for those very things. And it's really just two complements that make a gray. And this one happens to be Grumbacher. Sometimes I have Winsor Newton. Just depends. As long as it's a dark transparent and has no opaque in it, it will work. Grumbacher Cadmium Red Light. Other reds could work for you, but the mixture might be just a little bit different than what I'm doing here. It's the same red that I use when I make my air color. If you followed me, you know that I refer to this as my air color that I use in almost all my landscapes, actually. And then I'm using Rembrandt Titanium White, which I've really come to love the Rembrandt White. It's very creamy. And so those are the mixtures that I'm going to use today to show you how to make this mixture up. Now, because I'm going for a light value, you always start with your white. So I start with the green into the white, and then I'm going to start adding some of the red, pretty respectfully, but a good amount that I can at least see something happening. Now, and so you can push that a lot of different directions. If you want to go darker with it, obviously it would be just more of these mixtures, and you can get this beautiful dark khaki color. And I will use this at the Grand Canyon. You can use these mixtures anywhere in the landscape, actually. So now what I'll do is maybe I want it warmer, and I even maybe want it lighter. So add more white. You can get this nice light granite color that will clip the edges of rocks. If you want to warm it, sometimes I'll bring in my yellow ochre, just a touch of some yellow ochre, and I happen to use yellow ochre Pell of Winsor Newtons. I just am partial to it, but you can use whatever yellow ochre, and hopefully you can see the difference there. It's warmer. Now you can see I'm adding other warm tones. I'm adding orange and going to move on. I'm just time-lapsing some of this. Okay, let's talk about the cool side. So those warm tones that ran down that side there where I was time-lapsing that, just for the sake of speeding this up, was the cat orange, the raw sienna, and some transparent red oxide. Made those beautiful warm tones down the left-hand side. Now I'm going to go into the cool tones. So if you want to cool it, a lot of times I'm using my air mixture into this to cool it down and to bring it into a cool, beautiful gray. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's gorgeous. I even use this up in the clouds, but it's done sparingly. But in the ground, beautiful mixtures. And you can cool it with any of your mixtures. One mixture that I like to cool it with is I make a black with some ultramarine blue, deep, and transparent red oxide. And I have tube black. And there's nothing wrong with using tube black, but I'm pretty partial to making my own. It just is beautiful. You can get it midnight black, or you can go warm with it with just a little bit more transparent red oxide. It is Transparent Oxide Red by Rembrandt. But watch this. This is gorgeous. You come into this with a black, and this is going to just make you jump out of your chair and get excited. You'll want to go paint rocks. Look at that beautiful gray. Oh, I love it. It's just beautiful, you know. And then again, you can just stay with the main mixture and white and get this gorgeous, gorgeous, beautiful light. And then there are times that I even bring this up with just a little hint of lemon yellow in it. But look at that. So this is such an awesome color to work with, and broken color. Like I said, don't overmix your colors. You want to work with broken color. So in review, we started with two complements, a red and a green. So you could practice with all kinds of things. You could try greens and alizarins, or, you know, different mixtures. You can use a bunch of different combinations, but two complements will give you a gray. Okay, yeah. So you heard me say right there at the end of the video, like, think beyond this. So I'm using a sap green and a cad red light. What about Viridian and alizarin? Beautiful mixture. I mean, where could you go with that? What about making a green? Like, let's build a green with, let's say, ultramarine blue and yellow ochre. Make a green and then add a red. You can use alizarin, you can use vermilion red, you can use cadmium red medium, cadmium red light, phthalo red rose. I mean, all of those reds you can try. Now, if you mix a purple and add that to it, you're going to go a whole different direction. But these are the things that really give you beautiful color. And then I mentioned at the end of the video about not over mixing, but work in broken color. And I have a lesson back, a few Facebook Lives about that, about using broken color. So that video, like I said, I time-lapsed some of it to speed it up for this lesson. But at the end of this Facebook Live, I'm going to drop a link in the comment box where you can go watch that whole video. You can get a download of all the mixtures, the colors that I used, and watch that whole video from beginning to end without the superwoman mixing. I mean, I wish I could mix that fast. So yeah, so anyway, those are the mixtures that I use for ground. So let me, we got a question here. Let me bring this question up before I go on to the next slide. Diane says, you've probably been asked this many times, but do you pre-mix your colors before you go out plein air? And that's a great question. I think that's a personal preference. I believe pre-mixing in the studio, plein air, wherever is really a personal preference. I don't think there's a wrong or right. I mix at least one color before I go out plein air, maybe two. I mix my air color. And if you don't know what my air color is, you could find that on some back Facebook Lives. You can find it on all of my blog posts. I talk about it a lot. But I always pre-mix my air color because if you followed me, you know that's a pretty important color to my palette. And then I will mix that black that you saw. You see that black that I mixed there? I will pre-mix that sometimes so I have a little pile. Because sometimes if I've got some big rock structures or down in the lay of the land, I want some lines. I call it chicken scratch, or I call it calligraphy, where I want some lines. So probably, Diane, those are the two colors that I typically always do pre-mix. So good question, though. Really good question. So in looking at those colors, now what do I do with those colors? So I showed you that first image here. Now, that first image, that's a 30 by 40 painting. All of those mixtures that you saw are in this painting. It is what I built them with. You can see where I'm a lot warmer up in the top area of that. Those are more oranges, yellow ochres added to it. You can see where I'm real light and clipping the edges is where I talked about adding more white and lemon yellow to the original mix, which was white, sap green, and cad red light. So this is an area here, and I'm zoomed up on paintings. So these are not finished paintings. Let me remove my to stay here for you guys to hear me. So these are the colors on the ground. And so I zoomed up on this so that you could see this. Those mixtures are exactly what you saw me mix. These mixtures down here on the ground. All right. That is the very same mixtures. Let me show you the next slide. Very same mixtures kind of spattered through that desert landscape. It's really light. That was a bright day. And so that sun was really bright on the foreground. But that is showing you the way to use them. Now, some of those deep, deep, deep darks are that black color of mine. I very seldom use much black unless I want to make a beautiful green. I'll use black with some lemon yellow because I do like some of the greens that I can get there. Okay, here you can see all those mixtures. Is that relating to you? You know, what we were looking at? I want to pull up a slide in the very beginning really quick. What slide am I on? I'm on number 7, so I know where to go back. Look at those mixtures right there. Now, that might be small if you're on a phone, but see all those mixtures right there? Now, those mixtures, those are all those earth mixtures right there. Plus my air color, where you see the spots of the cool blues, that's my air color going in there. All right. So now there's more along that front cliff. And again, I've zoomed up on images here so that you can see it up close, see it closer. I don't know if that's my last slide. Nope, one more. Look at this here. Look at all those mixtures. Now, in the bottom shadowed area, it was really warm. This was a piece up in the Rocky Mountains. You know how I told you you can use these mixtures everywhere? Those are up in the Rocky Mountains. So there's a lot more transparent red oxide down in the left-hand corner. You move up to the right where there's more light. They're getting reflected light out of the sky. You can see the blues. You can see the white. Now, the white and lemon yellow added, or I would say the sap green and cad red light, the original mixture, made it lighter with more white and added lemon yellow. That's what's clicking the top edges of those rocks. So that gives you a little bit of an idea, I think, of what or where you can take all this color. Now, again, you can think broader and use different mixtures. I just love the sap green and cad red light. It's a mixture that I developed a long time ago when I was painting still lifes, and I had some beigey looking lace on there, and I just couldn't get that mixture. And those two made that mixture for me. The white, the sap green, and cad red light can give you a really beautiful khaki color if that gives you sort of a landing point, an anchor point. If you think what khaki is, it gives you that. And then you branch off. Cooler, lighter, cooler, darker, warmer, lighter, warmer, darker, whichever way you want. So hopefully that was helpful. Now, I am going to pop a link in the comment box right here at the end as well. So you can, if you want to go watch that video incomplete, I think the whole video is more like 10 minutes long or something. And I chopped it down to 4 so we could get through it a little bit faster. But then you could go watch it on your own and mix some of those mix some of those colors at your easel. So remember, if you find this lesson valuable, share it out there on Facebook. It does help my algorithm, and you guys know all of that stuff. Love it, heart it, like it, share it, do all those things. It helps me, and it just helps other people, you know, learn where they want to go with their journey, right? And thank you, Diane. I appreciate you coming. Now, we're going to go. I do want to tell you guys what's coming up and where we are on the next. What's coming is the blog this week. 5 techniques to improve your sketching. All right. You know, if you spent very much time with me, I'm a big advocate for sketching. So if you go to the blog, all right, you can hit the blog at Linda Glover Gooch. .com/115. Let me put this smaller one on here. So this week's blog is lindaglovergooch.com/115. I also have on that blog a 17-minute lesson for you right there. If you go to the blog, get some time together, get out your sketching supplies, and you can download both those images there. I give you a download of my finished image. I give you a video that takes you through 17 minutes, walking you through doing the drawing, and you get the image as well. It's all in a download. So that's all at the blog, the lindaglovergooch.com/115. So that will be a good lesson for you. All right. That is where you're going to learn. I cannot stress enough how much this is. Now, the drawing is important. And I'll remind you, this summer, we have a summer sketch giveaway coming up in July and August. We're going to be watching for that, where you can sign up, because I give away really great art supplies, sketching supplies. The month of July and the month of August, we're going to do a summer sketch giveaway at one of the Facebook Lives. I give away prizes. It's just good practice time. And also, if you don't have sketching supplies, I have a whole list on that blog, the 115, Linda Glover Gooch .com/115. That's a lot to say. That's a mouthful. But you can see the link here running on the bottom of the page. You can go there as well. Now, the next thing I want to tell you about is next weekend. I have a free live workshop webinar. I am going to be live next weekend for 3 days in a row. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. I'm going to do a 1-hour demonstration, and it's going to be similar, kind of talking about painting the ground. I'm going to talk about rocks, canyon walls. I'm going to do the demo. I have a demo set aside for it. And so it's free, and you can register. I will put the registration in the chat right now. So if you're getting ready to go, then you will have it. You can click the link and go register. There's 3 days for you to pick from, so pick whatever works for you. All right, I'm going to post it right now in the comment box. So that will be the link that you can get to the registration page and join me. It's going to be good. I'm going to have a good lesson for you. So we've got Saturday, Sunday, or Monday next weekend. That will be happening. And I think that you'll find great value in it. It'll be a good time. I go into a lot of detail about how to approach those canyon walls, rocks, same technique. You can use it at the ocean. You can use it in the Rocky Mountains. I approach my rocks pretty much the same way, no matter where I am. Values might change. Colors could change a little bit depending on where you are, but the same idea about the approach of handling your brush and how to maneuver that paint. So I think that you will see that link land in there for you guys. See it under Linda Glover Gooch. There is a webinar registration. Will you share your color names again, please? Yes. And Patty has asked if I will share my color names again. So the two that started are white, a sap green, and a cad red light. That's the base color right there. You make a very nice khaki color. Now, let me put in the post here for you guys also a guide to what you just saw me do. So this is my gift because you came and hanging out with me. Yes, Diane, good. I'll look forward to seeing you at the webinar. There's 3 dates to choose from, different times each day. I will be live. There will be question and answer time. It will be a good learning time. So I just dropped now in the comment box, I just dropped a guide to mixing earth colors. If you see that link, click that link whenever you leave. Don't leave yet. Click that link whenever you get out of here, or whenever you have time. You can come back to this Facebook Live, watch it again, but click that link. That will take you to a page. You have to put your email in, and what you do is you get email back from me with a link to that video, but the video in whole. It's not cut down like I did for this short version of a lesson. And you get a PDF, Patty, that lists all those colors, including brands, everything. So you're welcome, Patty. Thanks. That was a good question, because I know I'm talking fast, but like I try to keep my live time here with all of you to a 30-minute minimum, just for the sake that we're all busy. And I think it makes it a little bit nicer just to, not be on here forever. People have to leave early, then they miss something. So I try to just go 30 minutes. I really enjoy this time again. Like I was saying at the very beginning, if you missed my first comments about being an artist, can be a lonely journey. Now, when people say that, you could go, well, get out and paint with people. Well, that's true. But I have a habit. I'm saying this in a real confession of myself, of putting my head down and working and just moving forward. And for years, I'm talking 20 years, I've been doing plein air events. So I have painted with a lot of people, but there are sometimes at those events, I just go off by myself because of focus time. I love to paint, I love to chat, I love to goof off, but then there is a time when I really want to focus in. So being an artist can be lonely. So I just love that you guys all come and join me live. I really, really do appreciate it. And I hope that you find value in this. I hope that your 30 minutes here is very, helpful to you on your journey and you just find that you want to come back. Speaking of coming back, let me look at my notes. We will be back live. Next Facebook Live will be June 20th. 2 weeks from now, I will have another lesson. I think I'll be popping in next week, a very impromptu Facebook Live, just to kind of alert people about the webinar, because that will be 2 days before the webinar starts. So I'll probably pop in and do a Facebook Live next week, but it won't be so much of a lesson. Remember what I said about at the blog? Set aside. I got the ticker banner running down there at the bottom, lindaglovergooch.com/115. There is set aside time for there on the screen, that 17-minute lesson right there. All right. You will get downloads with that drawing of mine, with that image, plus access to the video that will take you through it. And in my video, I went through and I labeled every marker I was using. All right. The degree of it, what percentage. Thank you, Graham. Definitely find value in the webinar, and I appreciate that so much. This is where you can go learn more at the blog. That is 5 techniques to improve your sketching. So I have more stuff there than just that lesson. So you can get over to the blog and pick that up this week as well. Okay, my friends, what else? Anybody have any more questions before I sign off? You're welcome, Kathy. Thank you. And thank you, Hillary, for coming. I appreciate it. I love to take a sneak peek before I get out of the room to see who is here. I totally appreciate you all coming. So remember what I said also in the beginning, like I got to change the name of this because I've been calling it my Facebook Live show, but I'm going to start streaming onto YouTube as well and a couple other places. So I'll be doing it simultaneously. So I don't know if I want to say the Facebook Live show. I'm going to have to train myself. So I don't know. It might be the sky the limit, something. Maybe you guys have a good idea. Give me a good name. I need some help. It's like titling a painting. Goodness, that's almost harder than painting the scene. I just like have such issues with that because you kind of get a little burnt out on like fall morning and fall evening. So yeah. So anyway, we're going to retitle this, but it will still be the same thing every other Thursday. Good lessons, I hope, for you. That's what I try to bring to the platform. Again, also, if you have questions, I don't see any more questions. So that means if you're in Arizona or California, we're going to lunch. If you're back east, you already had lunch. Maybe it's time for snack. Honestly, it's time to get to the easel. All right. I'm just going to lay down the rule. I'm going to start giving rules at the end of my lives. Time to get to the easel, my friend. Okay, I will monitor this. If you have Paint the Sky, well, that's true. That's a good name, Patty. But right now, it's down in the ground today. But I do spend a lot of time in the sky. That is good. I do like that. We'll have to ponder that and see. But again, you guys, we're at our 30-minute mark, 34 minutes. Time for you to get to the easel, sketch, get to the blog, do the 17-minute lesson, check in with me, send me a note, let me know how it's going, and I'll see you hopefully next weekend. Remember, let me throw that up there. I got to remind you, they're in the comment box right there, the live workshop webinar. Next weekend, we will be Saturday, June 22nd, Sunday, June 23rd, Monday, June 24th. In the comment box is I'm going to put it in there again one more time, and then we're leaving here. The registration page where you can pick the time that you want to go join me or come join me in my studio for the live workshop webinar. There will be a good lesson for you. It will kind of follow through some of these same mixtures and very in-depth and painting, about a 30-minute demo. So set that side of time. Get in my studio. Come on, let's do this. All right, my friend. I'm going to sign off. And again, I appreciate you guys coming. See you next weekend at the webinar, or 2 weeks on the 20th. I'm going to bring a lesson to you about drama in your paintings. That's what we all want to shoot for. Okay, my friends, from Arizona, I'm going to say stay cool. Hey, probably everybody, stay cool, stay at the easel, but enjoy the journey. Ciao.